as well. All right, so that's about 2 blocks. What you'll see out in front of me now are 2 schools. The one to the left is the middle school. The one to the right is where the church actually meets. That is Tom McCall Elementary School. We meet right there. So as you can see, we're pretty close to it. I would say maybe a third of a mile, half a mile to walk there. Very easy to get to the school. And so that's kind of the neighborhood part. We go there every Sunday, we set up, we tear down. It's been a good thing. We meet in the gymnasium. We use some other wings there as well. So just giving you a picture a little bit. Obviously, throughout the rest of these neighborhoods, there are other families that are wonderful families that are part of the church, but you just kind of get that neighborhood feel of what it seems like God has done and is doing. So with that, we knew that this neighborhood was a real important part. We knew we wanted to be on the north side of town. There are no other churches on the north side of town. We'd be far away from kind of the core of where churches are located as far as their buildings. And so we began to look at this structure that had been built. This is a new commercial area. There is a new bypass that you can see just ahead of us. And so with this new commercial area, this structure was built, and we originally talked to them about maybe leasing some of their space for the church. However, that part didn't work out, although there's one cool piece of it. One of our food bank ministry is just about to start with someone at our church that's had a heart for that, and the owner of this building has actually given a space in this building for that food bank just to be given for free. So another part of the ministry of the church is going to be taking place in this building. But what's real key about this is the builder of this building is the same builder that we're going to use on our church building, and our land, as you can tell, is right next to it. So our land is this chunk of property that you're currently looking at right here. This is our land. It is 100 by 200 feet, 20,000 square feet. It actually goes up, it goes clear back to the fence, and it goes up to about here where the green power box is. Okay? So where that house's fence is, they've kind of moved into our land a little bit. We're going to have to give them a fruit basket and say, hey, guess what's coming? It's a church. And so the way we're going to do this, the plan, is the same builder that owns this building to our right is going to build it, and he is going to build that exact same shell for us. He's just going to build the shell. It's going to be cinder block building, very easy to maintain, very economical to build, and he's going to build that shell, and then we're going to come in and fit out the rest of it with volunteer labor, getting as much materials as possible donated, and we're going to fit out the rest of the church. The upside to doing it this way is several things. We're going to be able to build a building that's going to seat 200 to maybe 230, but the great thing about having this builder build it is, one, he can sign a document that says we can share his parking on Sundays, because we need the extra parking, and so that will be something the city can recognize, so we have the parking that the city needs. Also, we're going to build the building just in the same footprint. It's going to sit on the lot just as that other one does there, and the great thing for the future is that if in 4 or 5 years we are in several services and we're just needing space, and obviously it's not a huge space, by building a building just like that, we're going to build it in such a way that it can easily be retrofit back to a retail kind of situation where we would have 3 bays of retail, and we can use it as a commercial property, easy to sell, easy to lease out, that kind of thing. Especially at that point, this whole area is supposed to be built up quite a bit, and so that's the idea of having him build it, and building it in such a way that it's not just a church building with one function, but can easily be turned back into a retail space. We're just so excited about the idea of having our own place, that we can create an environment that we're looking for. We want this building to be used for the community, so our heart is really to have a coffee shop that's in there that's being used on a regular basis, maybe have a daycare if the right people can appear, use it for that kind of thing. We want this to be a gift gift to the community, and we want it to be a tool to be used to bless our community. And that's what we want to build here. And the hope is that after it's built, with all the volunteer labor and all the things that we're going to do, that it will probably, I would imagine, it could easily increase in value or be worth a lot more than what we have in it. Kind of, that we bought the land for $70,000, this chunk of land. It has been evaluated at $300,000, so there's a $230,000 gain right there. With the building, with all that we're doing on our own inside it, and all the volunteer labor, the materials, it could be that we gain another couple $100,000 there. It might be that by the end of this, it's worth $1 million, and we got about $500,000 into it, something like that. And so we're looking at a cost of the shell of around $375,000, $350,000 for the shell to be built, and then we would get the cash and have the cash on hand to fit it out, which is probably another $75,000. So those are some of the figures. I'll put that in the paperwork so you can look at it. But really, more than anything else, we want you to hear our heart. We feel like this is the neighborhood God has called us to. This is the doors He has opened to us. Obviously, God is doing lots of different things around this community, but there's something about this place. And to us, this is the area, again, where there is not a lot of churches, and we get to come in and be a foothold and a place where God can have a secure place for the future, that this can be more than a church that's around for just a few years, but it can be a part of this community for many, many years on end, and it would be our heart and our hope that we could be here for that. I'd love to be buried here. I grew up here. I wouldn't mind being buried here. And so if God had that in store, I sure would be into it. But again, I thank you guys for believing in us, for investing in us along this journey, which has been such a great adventure. We realize you've already invested greatly in this project, but felt like it would be the right thing to come and say, hey, what else is going on, and let you know what we have in mind, and again, ask for help. Ask if there's something more that could be done to secure an actual building of a church that is up and going, to allow this ministry to further. And so I just trust you guys in that. Whatever decisions are made, we just want to say thank you and say how much we love what God has allowed us to be a part of here, and you guys are a big piece of that. So take care. We'll talk to you soon. All right, so just an addendum to what we just did with this little thing of going through the neighborhood. You might have noticed the person that was looking homeless that was on the corner there. That's actually one of the folks that live in the neighborhood here. That's Tony Sprower. We showed you his house. I think you probably figured that out by now. But what was interesting is the car behind us that was driving behind us saw him there as we drove by, and she asked him about what was going on. She actually gave us $20 for the building fund. So sweet. It's already happening. It's pretty amazing. We just got to multiply this by about 100? No. 1,000? 1,000. Multiply it by about that. Maybe 200,000. Anyway, we need a little more. But it's a great start. So just pretty amazing how that stuff works out. Maybe we'll make that part of our fundraising strategy. So yeah, just wanted you to know. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.